Today, we have a different guest, as per the norm now. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Adolfo, and this is my first podcast.
Yes, we got Adolfo with us, and we're ready to start off with a new movie that just came out, BatmanVSuperman. Oh, what a
Or as I call it, the Battle of the Orphans. Because they're all orphans.
Put it on a laugh track for you? Why did you do that?
Yes, I put it on a laugh track. Have people laughing for me.
But yeah, it was... Alright, so it's a pretty controversial movie right now.
It was.
Yeah, a lot of negative reviews. But you know what? I think like the actual fans though, it's always kind of positive, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're always kind of like, yeah, there's problems, but I like the movie, so, you know?
Say true. The true fans.
Yeah, you know? And I feel kind of bad for Ben Affleck. Because
the sad guy, dude. Sad Affleck video.
Yeah, man. Because okay, first, have you watched any of his interviews?
I have.
I've stalked all his interviews. So here's the story of Ben Affleck. Mm-hmm. So he gets the role of Batman, but he's worried about it because he's like, all right, I know I didn't do that well in Daredevil, but I trust the script and I think it's gonna be great. He goes online. He's like, I want to see how people are reacting anyway. You know the reaction. Everybody hated it. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna stay off the internet. I'm not gonna look at the fan reactions anymore. Yeah. And then the movie comes out. And then the first thing he sees is critic reviews because the people tell him in their interviews, like he's like in an interview, they're like, "Have you seen any of the reactions after the movie?" He's like, "No, I'm staying off the internet." Well, then let me tell you them. And then what they do though, they tell him the Rotten Tomato reviews and things like that. Yeah. So it's all super negative. So poor sad Affleck. Did you see that one picture of him? The video of him like
the Hello Darkness Smile
friend. Yeah. That poor guy, man. He's trying so hard on this.
You can tell he tried hard too.
Yeah.
He was trying really hard. He knows there was so much riding on the Batman that he was like, oh, I need to do good. I want people to like me. I want people to support me so I can write the new Batman.
And this poor guy.
He had all this pressure on him.
This poor guy, dude. I feel so bad for him, man. That must suck, you know? You're probably so excited. Imagine you get the role of Batman. Oh, yeah. And you're so excited.
Such an iconic character.
And you want to do right by it. And all you see is negativity. And you're signed in for more contract. You know what I mean? You're stuck with it.
You had the pressure of launching the franchise
and being stuck with it, and all you see is negativity. That's too bad, man. That really is. Oh, so I feel bad for him, but I think he did great. I wish
he did an amazing job, honestly.
I know. I wish he could see some of the actual fan reactions now. I wish he would just go back on the internet for a second, and see, because every single even negative review from the fans is always but Ben Affleck did good. Yeah, but you always see that. It's always the movie had a lot of problems. I either did like it or didn't like it, but it always ends with, I think Ben Affleck did well, you know?
Yeah, it was best Batman portrayal ever.
I wasn't sure if I should say that, but I'm totally, yeah.
I'm with it.
In my head, I'm like, yes, totally.
Honestly, I hated Christian Bale. He was too skinny.
I think he did okay as the Batman, but I think so far no one's really done that well as Bruce Wayne.
But Ben Affleck looked like a pretty good Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I could see Bruce Wayne.
So far, Bruce Wayne's come in whatever, but he did great as Bruce Wayne. Oh yeah, that was my favorite part almost. It's Bruce Wayne's reactions to things, you know? Yeah. I wanted to see him get more and more mad. So whenever he did get mad, I was kind of like, oh yeah, you did the Affleck sad face. Do it. It's like a natural face for him anyway. So just do it.
Doesn't become a new meme.
I think that's why he's perfect for it, because he's always sad, just like Batman. He's always sad and mad.
He's like, oh, my parents died.
Oh, man. Oh. I'm a dying actor who's shitty. Yeah, he's great. I think he did really, really well.
He did awesome. He had the perfect Batman chin.
Right?
He has the Batman chin.
You know what I just still do have a problem with, and I have it with every single movie, is the Batman voice itself, though. It's weird. It makes more sense in this movie. Mm-hmm. It's not just him going, blah, 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 you know?
Going Batman.
Yeah, it's an actual, it's like a thing in his costume.
Organic.
Yeah. I still don't like it, though.
You don't like it?
I'm okay with it, essentially. Mm. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, they finally did it right. No.
Well,
they had to explain it somehow, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't sound good. It still sounds weirdly weird.
I don't know. It sounds better because it's an organic sound.
It sounds better. I would say it sounds better than Christian Bale. Yeah, it definitely sounds better to me, but it still doesn't sound good to me. Specifically the part when he's like, "When do you think you'll bleed?" or whatever. Yeah. What did he say?
Tell me, do you bleed? That's bad.
That was cool, but then the "you will" sounded like it was cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the puberty.
Yeah, because the little voice thing did that. It was like, yeah, like that. Because it was distorting it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, it was weird.
I don't know. That's almost like one of my favorite quotes from the movie. Just like, do you bleed? And Superman's like, crap, this guy's seriously gonna kick my ass right now.
Well, he can't give that face like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Whatever, I'm Superman. I did a visual joke, you can't really see it.
Brush it off. Just gonna brush it off.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Compared to, like, Christian Bale's, like, he made his weird-ass, like, mouth thing, like, puffing out his lips when he talks.
I hate that lip thing. I hate that.
Like, where are they?
Yeah.
Like, look, I was trying to be a duck when he's trying to do it.
It's weird, and you know what? But they are very different too, though. Because I still love The Dark Knight. Like that's. Still
I love the movies. Yeah,
it's still one of my favorite. I even like the Batman in the movies. At first I actually didn't. I was just kind of the villains are the best part, which they are.
Oh yeah.
But at first I actually didn't like the Batman parts that much. I was kind of like just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back and watched them more recently before I saw this to get ready. And there was some pretty sick, iconic moments. Like if you're actually looking out for it, there's some cool moments with like the wings and like you just like it looks good.
Yeah.
But this is so much better because I didn't have to look out for it. It was just like that's Batman. Like that's a cool looking. Affleck just did so well. And you know what? I think one thing was it did really well, and I was hating on it at first. I hated on most of this movie at first before I saw it. But the CGI capes.
The CGI.
I thought I was gonna hate that. Because I hated it in Man of Steel.
It looks so cool though.
It looked fucking awesome.
It perfect. Like
it worked better with Batman than even better than Superman. It looked good with Superman, like flowing and all that.
Yeah.
But the reason why it looked good with Batman, because one of my main complaints on Batman movies, the cape always looks stupid. It looks like a little piece of cloth that's just following him in the background.
Christian Bale's.
But like in the comic and in the cartoons, that cape is very iconic looking. It's very like deceitful and like just really like.
Looked like it was part
artistic
of the
looking.
Looked like it was part of the suit.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a movement, like it was alive, and it just helped him. Just sort of, I don't know, give that feel of Batman.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movies don't do that. Like the best one I ever did was a Christian Bale one up until now.
Yeah.
Because of the whole like cape expanding thing.
Yeah.
But even then, like just his movements, like when he was fighting, the cape didn't flow well. You know, it was just kind of like it was hanging out in the background. But with this, because it was CGI, the cape like moved with him.
Yeah.
And it looked beautiful. Like it looked really,
natural.
really natural and well done.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I did too.
I
loved it.
absolutely loved it. And it's funny because I was watching behind the scenes stuff, and he really doesn't wear any cape. It's like these little buttons on him. These little those little things they put on people, the little balls.
Yeah,
There's those
ball suits
on his back. Which is his back.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's the little stickers. He doesn't have a cape there. And so that's why I was like, this is gonna be stupid because I saw it before the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be stupid. He doesn't even wear a cape. It looks awesome.
It looks perfect.
It looks so good, dude.
The scene where like I was talking about like when he jumped into the building. Like how perfect that looked. Like you saw Batman. You saw like something. I don't know. I fangirled so hard when that happened.
It felt very like Arkham Knight-y. You know?
Yeah, like the Arkham games. Yeah,
it felt so good. It's funny because I actually don't like the Arkham Knight games that much. But not because they're bad. They're good games. I just don't personally like the gameplay that much. I don't know what it is. It's just not my type of game.
I loved it.
But I totally appreciate the game though because it looks beautiful. It does great by Batman, and I can see how the gameplay is attractive. To me, it isn't. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the fighting.
Oh, it's so easy. Just like press.
I think that's what it is.
Button
it's
and
just kind of combos are kind of bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't that big on it, but I love the detective parts and things like that.
Oh, I loved it. Like when you're up in the rafters, like looking down, everyone's walking by, you're like detective mode.
I've only played Arkham, the first one, and I played a little bit of City. I haven't gone past, but I know they're getting better, right? They get better and better every time.
Oh yeah. Oh, honestly, I never even played the first one. What's it called?
That's the only one I played.
Arkham Asylum.
And actually, I really enjoyed that the first time I played it.
Yeah.
Back in when it first came out, which is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played it like a year ago? I don't like it anymore.
It didn't.
It's just.
It didn't age well.
Yeah.
Compared to like the new ones.
Yeah, I agree. But again, I don't like the gameplay to begin with, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, the games are bad.
I don't know.
They're good games.
I fell in love honestly when I picked up the Arkham City game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's just gonna be another boring Batman, whatever. But I'll pick it up because it's fun. It was free on Xbox, so screw it.
Oh, it was free? No
It was
way.
free. That's all.
I paid $60. Okay.
That's kind of how I got it. I got it for free. I was like, I'll try it. It's Batman. I love Batman. I played it. I fell in love. I felt like Batman.
What was the moment when you first really started falling in love with Batman and DC and things like that? Because when I last talked to you, because you moved away a long time ago and we were friends, you were not a DC fan. Okay, you came back like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
you're a huge DC fan.
I love DC.
When the hell did that happen?
I'd say when...
Was it like a cartoon, or was it a movie, or what was it?
I think I liked it because Marvel was so cartoony, so colorful. And I don't know. That doesn't really fit my personality personally.
But was it because you were watching Marvel that you decided to try out DC? Is that what it was?
Just because, like, all these, like, Disney shows with, like, Avengers and all that.
Yeah.
It's so cartoony, like, it's, like, so kid-friendly. But then you watch, like, the animated movies for DC.
Is that what got you into
Yeah,
it?
the animated movies. The first one I watched was, what's it called? It was, which one was it?
There's a lot of cool ones. I like the older ones a bit more.
I think it was Justice League War was the first one I saw. I don't know if that's like one of the new ones.
It is one of the newer ones.
It was a Justice League. Cool. It was a Justice League one though, and I saw it and like I fell in love. I was like, oh, this is badass. Like there's blood. There's like they swear like not like oh swearing makes it automatically cooler.
Yeah,
but
it's just naturally darker. I can definitely see the attraction in that.
Yeah, and then when I look at like cartoons in the Marvel.
Oh wait, I will say that it's funny because I have like this thing with Marvel and DC because I love both, right?
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of both. But I know where they both lie. I think where they're better at.
Yeah.
DC destroys in animation. It is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel sucks when it comes to animated stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Movies. Okay, a couple of the movies were okay. Like the Ultimate ones. You ever seen those?
Which one was that?
There was an old Ultimate Avengers movie before the Avengers came out. And it was pretty similar to what the movie was, but it came out before it.
Yeah.
It was a cartoon movie based off the Ultimates. And the Ultimates are pretty much the fucked up version of Marvel. like everybody's just a dick. And like more, not in a funny way. Everyone's an actual asshole and they kill people.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark. I actually don't like it. I don't think that suits Marvel, being dark like that. It's more of a DC thing.
Yeah.
I think Marvel's better colorful. So when it went dark, I didn't really like it that much. But the movies, though, those are the only good animated movies. Every other animated thing Marvel does... terrible. The cartoons are really bad.
Well, honestly, like I like that Spider-Man one, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Like it's so kid friendly, but like
wait, Spectacular or Ultimate? Spectacular, right?
Spectacular.
I like Spectacular too.
I think that's when it was. Wait, was it? No, Ultimate Spider-Man.
I'm not that big on Ultimate.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
It's too funny. It's too. Kid.
That's why I like it though. It's like reminds me of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
well, that's why I said that works with Marvel, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's Marvel's thing. So it's not as, like, if you're not that into it, it's not going to be your thing.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really like it when it goes, like, super dark in Marvel.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's weird.
Yeah.
That's not your thing.
Yeah, they each have their own thing that makes them special. That's why people like them.
Yeah, of course. So I do say, they have some good animated stuff. Like, Spectacular Spider-Man I like a little bit. The first Avengers cartoon I liked kind of. But DC just totally demolishes.
They destroy an animation.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, even, like, the first animated series, you know, Batman, the animated series.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond, the Justice League Unlimited, Superman. Those were beautiful.
I honestly regret never watching those, honestly.
You didn't watch those?
I never watched the animated ones.
I grew up watching those.
I never watched that.
Well, that's the thing. I grew up watching... It's weird. I went from the comics to eventually anime and video games. But now I'm back to comics again because they're back in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
But I grew up, like, watching fucking all those DC animated stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was obsessed with that. I love... Static Shock. I love.
Oh, I like
Batman,
Static.
man.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond, dude. Oh, I love
don't know.
him.
It could have been that maybe at that time I wasn't really into the whole dark thing.
You were more into Marvel. Actually.
I was, Marvel.
You like Spider-Man and Venom and
then
things like that.
watching like Batman Beyond, it was kind of a darker thing.
Yeah.
So I was never really
fucked up sometimes.
Yeah,
actually.
that's why I never really like caught onto it.
Yeah.
Until it got older, and I was like, "Whoa, this is way badass!"
It's
like,
really cool.
Like fuck Marvel.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I really like the animated series stuff a lot, and the movies are really good too. I don't like the new ones too much.
Of what, Marvel?
The new 52.
New 52 movies.
DC, yeah. I'm not that huge on them. I don't know what it is. I think maybe because I just don't read that much of the new 52.
Yeah.
I read a lot of the older ones more, but even then I didn't read that much of them because I was always more of a Marvel guy. Yeah. But it was mainly Batman that I read a lot of. You know.
I remember there was a time where you told me like, "Oh, only good thing about DC was Batman."
Yeah, and I still not necessarily feel that way, but I still feel like that's a huge part of it. Huge. Oh, Batman's one of the biggest heroes ever right now.
Yeah, it's because he's different. He's not he's not superpowered.
He's so unique. He's such a unique character.
Yeah, and he has like these badass villains.
Yeah, you know, he has very interesting storylines and stuff. And if he wasn't there with DC, I don't think I'd really read that much DC at all.
If Batman went to Marvel, I'm pretty sure DC would be dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure DC would be dead without Batman. I don't think there would be.
Interesting thing, by the way. You ever read any Marvel versus DC comics?
I haven't.
They had like 2 crossovers.
I know there was like one with...
the entire run of Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
They only had 2 crossovers because fuck each other, right?
Yeah.
But it was really cool.
Fuck the fans.
One of the crossovers was Batman and Captain America. Obviously, there's a Batman and Wolverine one too.
Yeah, I was thinking that one.
That one was pretty stupid.
It looks badass.
It looks cool, but it was pretty stupid.
Yeah, I never read it.
It was very 90s. Very like, oh, we're so cool. Wolverine and Batman. But my favorite one was when Captain America and Batman were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Because what it was the Marvel universe versus the DC universe. And whoever dies or whoever loses, the world blows up.
Really? You should make that movie.
But what was cool, I know, right? What was cool though is Captain America and Batman were smart enough to know, like, if we just fight to the death, because they know that there's like gods who put them against each other.
Yeah. These
gods are gonna fuck us both over, or this is like there's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
So of course Batman and Captain America were the two who were kind of fighting and being like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So then they just went off and figured out the rest of the problems and then like stopped the whole thing. But meanwhile, the rest of the universe is like Superman fighting Thor and shit. Oh, that was so awesome. Superman beat Thor, right? It was a tough battle.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around for a second.
No.
I was like, no way.
Yeah, no. But Thor was giving a run for his money mainly because of the hammer.
Yeah.
It's like this almighty powerful thing. It's almighty powerful thing, and it's like. I just cut that part out.
That's gonna be a little
out. Scoot back a little bit because I'm gonna cut that part out. So what I was saying was Marvel vs. DC is Superman versus Thor, and Superman was pretty much winning, you know. Mm-hmm. But Thor was giving him a run for his money. He doesn't go down easy. Mainly was the hammer. The hammer was fucking him up.
Yeah.
And every time you hit the hammer, because Superman's weak to magic. Yeah. It's like on the same level as kryptonite.
Yeah.
If he gets hit with anything magic, that's gonna fuck him up, like as it would a human.
Yeah.
Because the hammer is just pure magic. Every time it hit him, he was like getting really fucked up. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, Superman's just kicking the shit out of the actual Thor.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty cool battle, but eventually Superman killed Thor. He like laser beamed the fuck out of his head and killed him.
Yeah.
But Superman's all fucked up from the hammer or whatever that he's like hella weak right now. So when he killed Thor, all the main strong Avengers turned around and pretty much just said fuck it to their fight. Because Thor is a huge part of their group. And they were just like, he just killed Thor. So then they all stopped fighting
like we're fucked.
And then they started beating the shit out of Superman. So pretty much you see like a bunch of hands of like the strongest fucking Marvel heroes just beating the shit out of finishing off Superman. Then they killed Superman.
Did they?
Yeah. But the funny part to me was like, what the rest of the DC heroes do?
They're just like wow, that's looks painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like they were all, She-Hulk was fighting somebody, and the Hulk was fighting somebody, the Thing was fighting somebody, Wonder Man. And also they just turned around like, you killed Thor. And then they just went to him. The rest of DC heroes are like, all right, keep going. Go kill Superman.
Good luck, Superman.
And then come back and fight me after. Yeah. It was really weird, but yeah, they did it. It was a really cool looking moment. But meanwhile, Batman and Captain America are like figuring this shit out, being the only smart ones. So it's just interesting seeing like the heroes interact with each other.
Yeah.
Because first of all, DC are surprisingly really cocky in that fight.
Yeah.
But of course, they're sort of on a different level power wise, so it makes sort of sense.
I wonder how like the writing went for that.
But
like,
that's what was interesting to me reading it. Is like it was so, their interactions are so from a different universe, you know. So it's so interesting and weird. And DC almost seemed more serious about their fight. Yeah. Because they are douchier.
Douchier?
Yeah.
That's what the D stands for.
Yeah, I guess so. And Marvel was kind of like, maybe we
douchey
can work,
comics.
Marvel was kind of like, maybe we can work this out or something. And Wonder Woman's like, no! It's fucking fighting, you know?
So yeah, that's a weird lineup though. I wouldn't put like Superman against Thor. I put Wonder Woman against Thor.
Yeah, I mean...
Then have Hulk fight Superman, because that's what everyone wants to see. Superman and Hulk fight.
That's a good point.
Like the two powerhouses of both like comics.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
It's a weird thing they put him against Thor.
The thing is, the only reason why Thor is because Thor, even though he's pretty much from the same strength as Hulk almost. Yeah. And Hulk can just get stronger than Thor. But the thing is with Thor is that fucking hammer. That hammer is like a game breaker.
But isn't like, oh no, I was not saying, wouldn't one woman be able to pick up his hammer?
No.
She's not. Or she's not worthy.
Oh no, she did.
Is she?
She did pick up the hammer.
She's worthy.
Yeah. That's what was really cool. Because that hammer is a total game breaker. It's like that magic power can fuck up a lot of people. Yeah. But without that hammer, he's gonna lose against most of these guys. So I think that's the reason they put it up against Superman, because they needed something that Superman was weak against. Yeah. And that's magic. Mm-hmm. So they needed that. Because otherwise, I think he would actually beat Hulk just the same way he beats Doomsday. You know,
he'd beat him anyway.
Just throw him away. You know.
Yeah.
Outsmart him. But yeah, it's just cool though seeing Batman being like the only guy who was like out of the whole DC universe who was like, let's not fight. And everyone else is like, let's fight.
It's just not.
And Batman was kind of like, why don't we just figure this out instead? And Captain America was like, oh, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Put the shield away.
Yeah. And so that was really cool. It was just interesting how you said that. If Batman was in the Marvel universe, or it'd be like, it would be almost the same in a weird way. He'd be just smarter than everyone.
I feel like his credit would go away.
I think so too. It'd be interesting seeing him interact with people who are also really smart strategic-wise, like Spider-Man and Iron Man. Yeah. They're sort of the Batmans of the Marvel universe. You know? There's almost like a group of them. There's like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America. Like, they are smart, strategic, and very humane. Very human, you know? Meanwhile, Batman is just all of that for the DC universe. He's the human. He's the human.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that's...
He's the Tony Stark.
Yes, he's the Tony Stark who's not...
That's also another line. Why didn't they make them fight?
I don't know. Well,
Batman and Iron Man.
Because I guess they thought Captain America and Batman were the only two that were going to be like, let's not fight.
True. Tony Stark is kind of a dick.
Kind of a dick.
He's kind of a dick. You're like, no.
He was like the only one in the Marvel Universe who's like, yeah, let's fight.
They throw money at each other. That'd be their fight.
Yeah.
The quarters. I'm richer. No, I'm richer.
And it's funny because I always think like, oh, Batman's totally just going to fuck him up. But you know what? There's some things that Tony Stark does. It's pretty smart. Like, it surprises me. It's like... You would think just an EMP, but then he has like this backup generator thing on this like little electric field to anything that enters will get like destroyed. Yeah. It's just like all these little weird shit that he has like planned. It's like really interesting. I'm like I underestimate Tony Stark like all the time. Mm-hmm. I really do. It's pretty cool because it's weird. I sometimes just think of him as this powerful guy, but he's just human too. Yeah. And it kind of throws me for a loop sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, he's just a dude. Like without that armor, he's just a dude.
Yeah. And then you always see like this thing on like Facebook or stuff like. Batman and Iron Man, like, what if you take away their money and their gadgets?
Oh, Batman.
Yeah, Batman, because Batman knows martial arts. But the thing is, like, Batman has, like, he has his money, and so does Tony Stark. Tony Stark, with his money, makes a suit. Batman, with his money, he makes a suit. Yeah. And then, with that money, he also traveled to learn martial arts.
Yeah, which is why his suit isn't as, like, Iron Man-y. It's just a ninja sort of, like...
So, without, like, if both of them didn't have money...
I guess he would never have...
He'd never have martial arts.
That's a really good point. Holy shit. Like, that's a really good point.
Tony Stark can, like, shoot him because Batman was like, oh, I don't want to use guns. Yeah. But Iron Man would be like, fuck it, I'll use a gun, fucking flash. Like, shoot you with something. And you just stand there.
That's an interesting ass point, dude. Yeah, I've never seen anyone bring that up. It was like, oh yeah, he knows ninja skills. So.
Like, ninja skills, but like, if he didn't have the money, he would never travel. And if he never traveled, he never... learn martial arts.
And that's always like some of the most interesting parts about Batman to me too, is like his travels. Yeah. I love little comics or animations based off that. Yeah. It's always interesting because there's always something new. It's never like the same thing aside from the League of Shadows. That's always where he is. Yeah. But there's always like he always meets this weird mentor dude, or he goes like and learns a certain trick. It's like that's such a weird trick to learn, but it comes in handy. Yeah. You know, and it's so cool that he does that. I don't know. I love those parts of the Batman universe. We totally derailed from Batman. I told you. I warned you before this happened.
We stayed in the general area of Batman. They had some Superman in there, so it's in the general playing field.
I told you, man. Let's go back to the movie real quick.
Where were we on it?
I mean, we were talking about just how awesome Batman was, but let's go ahead and get to some of the other characters real quick, and then we'll get to some critiques of it.
I think Jared Leto will make a badass Joker. Just a little side note.
Okay, fine. Suicide Squad for a second. No, I agree. I'm actually super excited about it after watching this movie. So
I'll fight anyone who disagrees with that.
I mean, I think he's gonna be okay.
I'll fight you. We'll end this podcast right now, and I'll fight you.
I think he's gonna do good. I'm just as unsure as I was about the BatmanVSuperman. Yeah. Because it's an entirely different part of the universe. You know. Yeah. It's like who knows? It could be totally different. It looks like a totally different type of movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing. That's what everyone's saying.
I agree, kind of. It is sort of, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You know.
It'd be like something a more mature Guardians. I wouldn't say mature, but like more like. Shoot people, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Darker because it's deep.
Yeah, darker. Yeah, there you go. It's still back to that point. Galaxy, back to that point, being Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just such a, I don't know, such a cliche thing they're doing, but it looks cool.
I just love it. I love the idea of the Suicide Squad. There's little kids in the background.
No one respect me. my authority.
My authority.
Oh God, no, I agree. It looks pretty cool. There's just, I think what it is so far. The DC trailers are just really bad to me. Are they? All the trailers for DC movies so far are just shit trailers.
So was for like Civil War.
No, that's a good trailer.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. The reason why I say the DC trailers have been bad so far is because it totally is representing the movie in a shitty light, in my opinion. Yeah. Like the DC trailers have both given away a lot and made it look like those were the best parts of the movie when it wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to explain that because, like, when I was watching it first,
but they gave a good amount though, like for Batman vs Superman.
Too much, because I did.
It wasn't too much though.
No, it was the entire plot.
But like, not even the whole fight though. It was like
I know it wasn't. You shouldn't show the whole fight. That shouldn't be a thing. But like, it did show the whole plot. It did. That was the whole plot. Like, I came home with my dad, and he was like, oh, so they fought Doomsday in the end. I was like, I guess that's not a spoiler. Yeah, they did.
You just spoiled it for the people.
And he was like, oh, then they all team up, right? And I was like, oh yeah, you saw the trailer, right?
You kind of just spoiled it right now for anyone's gonna
listen
to
the trailer.
the podcast.
It's the trailer.
Yeah, some people avoid the trailers though. I know I avoid.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like the fact you have to avoid the trailer, those aren't that good trailers then.
Yeah.
You know. But I think the movies are great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the movies are really great. But I think the trailer just doesn't do it justice.
Dawn of
just because
Justice.
it spoils a lot and it makes it look like those are the only good parts because it's spoiling a lot. And it just kind of puts it in a bad light, in my opinion. It's the same thing with Suicide Squad. Yeah. It shows a lot of the main moments, and I think it's doing better than Dawn of Justice did. It's doing a lot better so far, because it hasn't showed everything, and you still are very confused on who's the bad guy and stuff. Yeah. But with Dawn of Justice, it showed everything, and then made it look like that was the only good parts, when it really wasn't. And it gave a little bit of a different feel, too. Yeah. Because the movie really did have a different feel than the trailer. I think so far, the only trailer that did it justice is the very first trailer. The very first trailer didn't show that much.
Dawn of Justice?
Yeah. The very first trailer of that didn't show that much. It felt very dark, and it felt like it was going to be like a lot of like Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, which is what the movie was. Yeah. But then every single trailer after that was like, oh, we also got Doomsday and Wonder Woman. Don't forget about that. Don't forget. Okay? Please don't forget. And then here's Batman kicking ass, which is the final scene of the movie. Yeah. Don't forget this.
Don't forget about Doomsday.
And then that doesn't happen for the entire movie until the end, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think that's kind of shitty advertisement. Suicide Squad's doing better. It's just the trailer is very cliche so far. Yeah. Like, oh, we're bad guys. This is what we do. Yeah. And then, of course, it shows Joker being Joker. It's just like, it feels very cliche. But it's nowhere near as bad.
Yeah, but it really leaves you wondering.
Yeah, so far it's still okay in the sense that you're not entirely sure what's going on, which is good. But it still gives you the sense of what the movie's going to be like, hopefully. But, like, it's giving you that.
I have so much high hopes for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so far the trailer's doing better for that. But the reason I think the Marvel Civil War trailers are pretty good, because it's doing the same thing as what I would say Suicide Squad is. It's giving you a feel of what the movie's going to be like. It gives you a basic premise without spoiling too much at all. Yeah. And then, the final trailer, which is the Spider-Man trailer, that is a huge thing, because it's both kind of annoying to people who already know what's going to happen. Yeah. But it's also a good thing, is because a lot of people who are just on a need-to-know basis, who don't look a lot of that shit up, when they saw Spider-Man, that just drew on a huge audience. It drew in, like, Juan, you know Juan? Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to see Civil War. Saw that trailer of Spider-Man, he's like, I'm going to see it now. You know what I mean? Because it just draws in people who aren't, like, that big of fans of the comics. Yeah. So that's a very smart move. As long as that's the final trailer. Mm-hmm. I think it is.
It is, yeah.
So as a final trailer, that's a good trailer. If they put out another one and showed more Spider-Man, and showed more of, like, whatever.
I think it should.
That'd be bad. Yeah. That'd be really, really bad. So I think so far they've done good on the Civil War trailers. And I think Suicide Squad is done okay on the trailers. I think BatmanVSuperman did terrible trailers. Yeah. Really, really bad trailers.
I'd agree with you on that.
Which is unfortunate, because the movie was awesome.
Amazing.
Really great.
I think the other day, me and my friend went to Farmer's Boys.
Oh my god, I love Farmer's Boys, dude.
And we went over there, and this chick asked us, because me and him were matching Batman and Superman shirts. He was like, oh, I really want to see the movie. How is it? My friend was like, oh, you seen the trailers? Yeah, it's pretty much like that. She's like, oh, I'm not going to watch it then. Yeah. It's pretty much like killed the movie for this chick who's like had so much high hopes for seeing it. So you're right. The trailer like ruined the movie for some people because it gave so much.
Which is a shame, because as I said, the trailer advertising wasn't done good because the movie was really well done. Yeah. So that's too bad. But I think Suicide Squad's doing better. Hopefully they don't follow the same suit and kind of...
I don't think they will. I think they're learning.
I think they did learn. Because the reaction was what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, the reaction of people who saw the trailer were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. You know? And so I think they did learn, which is good. So
yeah, see, like the Suicide Squad still leaves me thinking, like, is the Joker going to be the main bad guy? How much is he going to be in the movie? Yeah. And then...
Because I see, like, a lot of big YouTubers who are thinking Enchantress is going to be the main bad guy.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm totally not thinking that. Weird. So it's just interesting how people get totally different vibes, which is a good thing.
I feel like the green guy is going to be Enchantress in some way.
Oh, really?
Are they going to use her?
I think they're going to use her to a bigger storyline, yeah, but I don't think she's going to be right off the main villain.
Yeah, I think, like, they sacrifice her to make this green guy. Yeah. Is my guess. I don't know.
Because when I'm seeing it, because a lot of people are saying on YouTube, if you follow any kind of, like, reviewers or anything like that, they're saying, like, the Suicide Squad is being put together to fight the Enchantress. Yeah. I don't think that's right. I think the Enchantress is part of the squad. Yeah. And I think she eventually ends up becoming part of the bigger villain.
Whose villain is Enchantress? Like, who's superhero?
No. I was hoping you would tell me.
I don't know.
I know more about Marvel. Ask me anything Marvel. Go ahead. DC. Ask me anything Batman related. Go ahead.
Batman. I know a few about Batman.
Yeah, it's anything beyond that.
I don't think she's Batman, though.
No, she's not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because Enchantress in Marvel's a bad guy. She's cool.
But in Suicide Squad, it's all Batman villains, isn't it?
No, I don't think...
Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc.
So, huh?
Who else is in there?
I'm obviously Joker, but I don't know if he's not part of the squad.
Yeah, he's not even part of the squad, but...
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang's Flash.
Is Killer Frost in it? No, she's not.
No, she's not. Then there's Diablo. I don't know who he is.
He's not Batman.
He's not Batman.
No.
Is he? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Because I feel like I would have known that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I know the Batman villains.
Yeah.
So, I don't think Diablo...
A good portion is Batman.
Yeah, a good portion of it is Batman.
Maybe they all are, because they're all from Arkham, aren't they?
No, it's not Arkham.
Belrez.
Yeah.
Wherever that is, I don't even know where that is, honestly.
It's on the outskirts of Gotham, I thought.
Is it?
Yeah, at least in the video game it is.
To think I was a fan of the video games. I didn't even know that.
No, the DC Universe Online. I think it's on the outside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What?
Play the game with me, dude. You explore Arkham. There's it's so much fun.
Explore Arkham.
Yeah, and you learn little tidbits of Metropolis and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Play it.
What was I saying though? What were we saying? Oh, trailers and stuff.
Yeah,
I think Suicide Squad trailer is pretty good.
There's so much high hopes. Like, I'm honestly excited for... As excited as I was for Dawn of Justice, I'm excited for Suicide Squad.
I'm more excited for Suicide Squad now. But I think I'm going to like Dawn of Justice more in the end. Just because that's like one of my favorite movies right now.
It's just because I love the villains. Like, I love the bad guys in comics. They're so cool to me.
It's weird. It's weird because I do think the villains are more interesting and better characters. But I just like heroes more. I don't know what that is.
We're going to fight.
This
is a versus.
It makes me seem like I'm a pussy or something. So I'm like, oh yeah, I love the heroes. But like, that's such a pussy thing to say, isn't it?
I love heroes.
Okay, obviously the villains should be cooler, but I do like the heroes. Like, because I grew up reading these heroes, so I idolize them. Yeah. You know, I grew up like they were like a part of my childhood and like raised me in a way. So it's like I can't not love these.
I think you're the reason I got into like superheroes. Like I knew the gist of Spider-Man. and all that.
Spider-Man and stuff.
I just never knew enough to call myself a true fan.
And then we were obsessed, my family. So you came over and me and my dad were just we loved all of it.
I was jealous of your dad, honestly. I wish he was my dad.
Your dad's cool as shit.
He doesn't like heroes. Makes me sad.
Yeah, but he's cool though.
Makes me question. I'm gonna get a DNA test. Don't find out.
Well, it's cool. I'm so glad you ended up becoming even a DC fan because I love both. But it's cool you even became a DC fan because now I can talk comics with you. Because I remember back in the day, I was explaining to you, you didn't really seem like you understood what I was saying. Yeah. Like I was like telling you about the other Captain Americas and Super Soldier Serum. And like that, and you were just kind of like, what?
Is that a Spider-Man character?
Yeah, Spider-Man thing. It's cooler now. I'm glad because I love DC and I like learning a lot more about DC because I grew up more with Marvel. Yeah. Basically my childhood was this. It was Marvel, Batman, and then anime.
Not even DC.
No, Batman. Yeah, just Batman. So I like learning more about DC, and I have been the past few years. Ever since I saw Dark Knight, I've been learning a lot more about DC as a whole. Yeah. Because I was so enthralled with that movie. Yeah. And I steered away from Marvel a little bit. I'm still pretty much on both, pretty much. Yeah. But I've been enjoying DC so much comic book wise. I've been catching up a lot in the comics. Have you? As compared to before, yeah. Because I'm still not like, oh yeah, I'll tell you who Enchantress is. Yeah. No, I'm still not at that level. Yeah. But like, I know a lot more about the basics of these superheroes. Because before, I couldn't even tell you the whole Superman origin. And that's pretty bad. Before, I couldn't even tell you. I could tell you Batman.
My parents died.
I learned all that shit, and I learned a lot about the Green Lanterns. I learned a lot about the Amazons and Atlantis. Like, I just learned the basics. And I've been reading a lot of those comics and stuff, learning the basics and things like that. So that's been cool. It's been nice to be able to explore it. And now I'm at a level where I can start learning the next level shit, which is like the stuff that the real fans know. Like I didn't know a lot about the Suicide Squad. Like I knew the basics, villains, but I didn't know what each villain was. I didn't know about them.
Honestly, like I only found out about the Suicide Squad from the animated movie, the Assault
and I found out about it from this new movie.
New one?
So coming out. So I was like, oh, there's a Suicide Squad movie? What is that? Yeah. I swear I've heard of that before. So then I started looking it up and I read a couple of things on it, and it's just it's fun learning about it. I feel like I'm the new Marvel fans, like the actual Marvel, new Marvel. Because there's two different groups. There's the Marvel fans, like the new ones specifically.
The one from that all bandwagon from the movies.
Yes, and then there's the new Marvel fans who bandwagoned but became true fans. Like, they started reading the comics. I feel like maybe you kind of were a little bit like that.
I think I was like,
DC
I was more
stuff.
like that, yeah.
But then you did start learning about the comics and stuff, where a lot of people just kind of just watch the movies and stop there.
Yeah.
And you started learning a lot about the comics. So there's those fans.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen a lot of fans like that for Marvel. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm that for DC right now. Like I kind of bandwagoned down a little bit after Dark Knight. Yeah. But now I'm reading up on it a lot and becoming an actual fan. Yeah. Which it feels really weird, because usually I'm the guy that's like the nerd. I'm the nerd. You know, I'm the guy who knows all the nerdy shit. Yeah. And now here I am trying to learn about it. And it's so weird.
You're out of touch.
It's a very surreal experience, but it's very fun. I very much becoming more of a DC fan recently.
Like honestly, I never really picked up a comic until I got my first Loot Crate.
You got Loot Crate?
Yeah, the first time.
Dude, awesome!
Yeah, I got one Loot Crate because it had I knew it had Batman in it.
Why would you borrow comics, dude? Why didn't you just tell me?
Because I don't know what are the good comics. But
suggest.
I honestly got my first comic in Loot Crate, and it was a Batman one. Yeah. It was what was it? It was Endgame.
Oh, that's a good one.
Endgame was my first like actual comic. Yeah. And I read it. I fell in love. And yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, Endgame's pretty sick. I like that one.
It was awesome. I loved it because it had like the Joker on the cover. Like, I love the Joker.
Who doesn't?
I don't want to see.
It's such a mainstream thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who does?
Everyone.
Not to.
I'm like, oh, I love the Joker. I love Batman. By the way, fuck those girls who like wear Batman. Like, don't even know anything about him.
Oh yeah. Well, the majority of girls.
Like, all of them. Like, oh, I love Batman. Oh, really? Well, name a character besides Batman and Joker. There's Superman.
Oh, no.
I hate you. I hate any of you who are like that. I strongly have a deep hate for you.
Oh, you bunch of dislikes right now.
I just made your videos go down in views. I'm sorry.
By like 5 views is all I had. Was 20, so 20 or 30. Yeah,
it's gonna go down to 5. But yeah, I love.
Well, you said your first comic was Endgame. Have you got any more since then?
I got The Killing Joke.
Oh, nice.
I love that one.
Those are some of the ones you got to invest in, like The Killing Joke, Endgame. What's the other one? Not Death in the Family.
Death in the Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. Which one? Death in the Family or Death of a Family?
Both
of them are pretty good.
I think it was Death of the Family.
Yeah.
Which was the newer one, right?
Yeah, because In a Family is just the Jason Todd. Yeah. Of a Family is like it was like.
Is when he cuts off his face. Joker has his face cut off. He comes back. Yeah, like gathers all the Bat family. Mm-hmm. That one. That was badass. I loved it.
And Killing Joke's the one where he paralyzes
Barbara Gordon.
Yeah. So those are some good ones you gotta invest in. Some nice ones. I do like the Death of Superman. A lot of people don't, but that's what this movie was kind of based off of.
The
cool
spoiler.
Little spoiler. I'll put a little spoiler thing up right now. The end of the movie is based off Death of Superman. Yeah. And that was cool.
It was amazing.
It was also stupid, but it was cool.
I was honestly really surprised that they were going to kill Superman.
We're going back into the Justice talk, finally. Now we're in spoiler terrain, because everything before that wasn't really spoiler at all, really. It's just trailer talk. Yeah. I'm talking a little bit of spoilers here, because I want to just talk to you about the end of the movie right now. I loved and hated how much it was like the comics. Because I love the fact that...
How did you hate it?
Well, the reason I would hate it is because it was kind of corny and kind of dumb. But I love that, though, because the comics are weird. The comics are just weird. That's what they are, you know? So the fact that the movie was, like, willing to go there, it wasn't going to be, like, water it down for, like, normal people. Yeah. It was like, fuck it, this is a comic movie.
Like, we'll throw as many comics as possible in there.
That felt so good. It did. I mean, if people are just saying it's fan service, shouldn't it be that, though? Yeah. It's a comic book movie.
That's really what is launching this, the movie, though. It's all from the fans. Yeah. Because then the critics are like, oh, I know this movie sucks.
This should be for the fans. Yeah. Like, I mean, here's the thing. There's this, I don't know what writer it was, but one of the comic writers said, comic books are for everyone. I agree with that. I think anyone should be allowed to read comic. But here's the thing. I don't think comic book movies should necessarily be for everyone. I think they should be primarily for the fans and then secondarily for everyone. Yeah. You know, because like if you see things like fucking the Twilight books, that's for the Twilight fans.
How dare you
see
that?
Hunger Games, that's for the Hunger Games fans. Harry Potter for the Harry Potter fans. So why can't comic movies be for comic fans?
I think because like comics are such a small thing. Because everyone like back then it was like the nerdy thing to do was read comics, and then everyone read books. Like it's just a regular book. But I don't know, like.
And they really watered it down. But it worked in their favor, though.
Yeah.
Because it brought in a huge amount of people who didn't like it before. But here's the thing. It's getting to a point where it's sort of in a formula, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, let's water it down, make it for everybody, and that's the way it's going to be.
Civil War.
It's getting a bit boring now. Yeah. It's getting a bit boring now. You got to realize the people you drew in are now comic fans. They are. They're reading the comics. So they want to see the comics. Like, comics should be for everybody. I'm saying the movies shouldn't be. I think the movies' primary choice should be for the fans.
Yeah.
Because we want to see a good comic book movie. You know, and I'm getting a little annoyed with Marvel because they are watering it down. And at first it was okay because they're drawing in, but now it's getting a bit like, let's just see the comics. Mm-hmm. And I felt the same way with Dark Knight did it almost the best. And they watered it down, but it was very iconic. It was very, this is year one Batman kind of thing.
Did they steal any ideas from the Dark Knight from a comic?
Yes, year one Batman.
Did they?
And even some of the Dark Knight Returns, even borrowed some of that.
Really?
But that's kind of it. That's kind of where it ends, and then the rest of it was pretty watered down for normal people to understand. But that was the best it's done so far with mixing the two. But I think they needed to do what they did now.
Yeah. And
they needed to make a comic book movie for the comic book fans. Mm-hmm. And that's this movie is exactly that to a T, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so much what people would call fan service. Hopefully the mic isn't picking this up. Because it picked it up last time. No, don't worry. I did the same thing. I was like this the entire last time. And then I was listening to it over, and it was like in the background.
I didn't know that.
And I was like, oh, God.
Super sensitive mic.
I know. I was like, what a good mic. So then I was like, I really hope people who are listening to this don't notice that. Because it's more towards the end anyway, so no one's going to stay that long into the podcast.
True loyal fans will.
But yeah, that's why I like this movie so much. It's time for me to give my semi-review real quick.
Right.
What I've been waiting to tell you pretty much all day. Mm-hmm. How I feel about this entire movie and all the little parts of it. I love this movie so much because it's so fucking weird. Because it is such.
Weird.
You ever read like a graphic novel like Death of Superman, mm-hmm. or like just anything like that? Batman. Did you read The Dark Knight Returns, or did you see the animated movie?
I saw the animated movie.
Well, the novel is even weirder. The graphic novel.
Is it?
And so I was reading that, and it felt like they just threw that into the screen, and that's what I want to see. Yeah. As a fan of the novel, I want to see this thing come to life. And I really felt like that's what was happening. It really felt like it wasn't just that novel, though. It felt like they just threw a lot of comics up there and were like, we're going to do this for you. Yeah. We're going to make this a thing. Like, the dream sequence.
Yeah.
I'm the only person in that entire theater who was like, oh, and I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and I see my sister, and she just looks confused as fuck. But so what?
wait, was it Darkseid?
Yeah, it was Darkseid and his parademons.
What was the symbol? Was that Darkseid's symbol?
Where?
That was in the dirt? Like, he looks over on a hill?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of parademons, and that was like, based off the comic where Superman... That was based off the comic of where Superman was taken in by the Russians.
Yeah.
And he was like the weapon of the Russians, and Batman, I think it was actually Thomas Wayne, was trying to kill him, and he wore the outfit like that. Right. Visually, it was based off of that. But it was clearly a future of like Superman going crazy, like just like kind of the injustice, and they do that a lot where Lois Lane was killed. Yeah, like, they were just mixing some really nice comic storylines together, and it felt so good. It felt like yes, like I was looking at it like, oh my god, oh that's a parademon. What the hell? I was like, I'm like, this is like that's that storyline, and then there's Superman. Oh, he just killed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome, and then all of a sudden he sees the guy from the future. Which I don't know who that is, though.
Oh, the one from the little portal?
Yes, because that was right after that dream sequence. It was right after that.
You don't know who that was?
No, who was that?
It was Flash.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was the Flash.
I thought that was the Flash, but he didn't look like the Flash to me.
Yes, because there was so many lights. I talked to so many people about this. They're like, oh, I didn't know who that was. I was like, it's the Flash. How'd you not see this?
See, that's the thing. I was looking at it. I was like, was that the Flash? And then I just kind of hit myself in the head. Like, no, it's stupid. That doesn't look like the Flash at all. Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, that's what I thought too. And what was cool, that mean that dream sequence wasn't a dream sequence. No. That was a vision of the future. Yeah. And that was Flash trying to warn him.
I think it was kind of like Flashpoint kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's why I said, I don't think that's like the exact future. I think that's like a paradox, like a different maybe universe,
Flashpoint
future,
paradox.
sort of something like that. So when I was watching that, I was kind of like, I am understanding this to a point. So everyone else in this room is confused as shit. Yeah. So that's why right then and there, I was like, I understand why other people don't like this movie.
Yeah, when I saw it, everyone, when the Flash came out, was like, save Martha. I was like, took me a second, like, who's that? And then I looked and I saw the red suit and everything, his hands sticking out. I was like, oh, it's just the fucking Flash.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, looked at me like they were freaked out, like, what? How was it the Flash? And then by the time that happened, like, it was gone, I was like, oh my god, like, I fangirled so hard. I was like, oh, the Flash.
I was fangirling just the fact that they even went and did something that crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now, modern Marvel movie, or even what I would think would be a modern DC movie, would never do something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be Batman vs. Superman. They wouldn't have some random time travel vision from the future. A comic book would do that.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, dude! Yeah, I was like, yes!
Like, they hit so much stuff in this movie. That, like,
it was beautiful.
Like, only, like, the real, like, people who pay attention to what's happening.
In the comics and really understand what's happening.
Yeah,
really like
they'll
that.
see it. They'll be like, oh, that's from whatever comic that was from.
And that's why I was so happy. That's why I like this movie so much, because it felt like, you ever watch those old sci-fi movies, and it's clearly meant just for people who like sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It felt like it was doing that for us. It felt like it was actually, they were making a movie for the hardcore fans.
Like, kind of with Marvel, like, they throw Easter eggs in there, like...
That's it, though.
But yeah, kind of like, oh, they mentioned a hero.
Complain about that, you know? Like, normal people will be like, oh, we get it. It's fan service. But, like, let's see the actual story. It's like, fuck you!
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
That is the story. That's the comics, you know? And I wish they would just kind of just not do the Easter egg, but just the story is that.
Like, they actually showed something.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, there's a symbol that has a Spider-Man's logo on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's this reference to Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's like, let's just see it, just show us. And I think they did it really well.
Oh, yeah.
So when I saw that vision of the future, I was just like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I saw it in the trailer, I thought for sure it was just a dream sequence. But as I was watching it, I was starting to realize, like, this isn't a dream sequence. This is like...
Something's gonna happen.
This is totally like a future thing going on. And then when I saw the guy coming back, I thought it was Flash, and I was like, no, it's not Flash. So I was like, when I saw the guy coming from the future, I was just like, oh my god. He was like, Lois Lane's the key. And then he was like, save Martha.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, because he was like, did I come back to you soon? It was cool, because first he said Lois Lane was the key or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or he said, no, Bruce, you were right. And then he was like, oh, I came back to you soon. Lois Lane's the key. And Batman just looked really confused, and he was just like, save Martha, save Martha. And then he just disappeared.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was awesome!
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is a comic book movie! And I was so happy, dude. I enjoyed every moment of that movie. Like, the seriousness of it. Like, starting from, like, Batman's point of view of the crash of Superman destroying everything, made me not like Superman. It made me feel with Batman. It made me be like, yes, Batman, kick his ass.
Yeah.
All the shit he did. And then... I almost never really did feel for Superman, actually. But I did. And that's what I'm saying. There's a part where I really, like, I got freaked out by what Lex Luthor did. Because I was, like, kind of on Lex Luthor's side, sort of. I was like, yeah, fuck Superman. And also, he did that thing where he blew up the entire, council or whatever, including his, like, girl person.
His girl person?
Yeah, and, like, I felt so, like, I was, like, almost devastated.
Yeah.
You know, because that really kind of touches a little bit to home, too. Because there's a lot of terror shit going on recently, you know? So when I was watching that, I was just kind of like, fuck, man, that's really real.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's, what the fuck, Lex? You're an asshole. And then, you know what I mean? So the movie did really good on controlling my emotions on the heroes.
Yeah.
Like, show the Batman parts, being mad at Superman. I felt that.
Yeah, you can, like, pity with all of them.
Yes, you can really...
You can side with all of them.
Really connect with them.
Yeah.
During those epic-ass moments. Which is why I love the build-up. I like the part a lot of people didn't like. I like the fact...
The boring beginning part.
The conversations, their point of views, the really shitty things that they pulled and did, and just... understanding where everyone's coming from. I really like those moments.
Yeah.
It made me really feel for the characters and made me feel like they were real characters. And then once it got crazier, I liked it even more. Because we were kind of past the moments of, like, we understand these characters to, like, shit's getting weird.
Yeah.
Shit's getting, like, real comic booky. You know, like, the future vision. And then it went from, like, showing every single DC hero that's alive
on
right
the
now.
computer.
Yeah.
Speaking of that part, that part was, like, the probably most badass thing.
Yeah.
That made me fangirl the most from that part.
Even people who, like I said, my sister who doesn't read all the comics, she was kind of like, oh my god, that's Cyborg. That's Flash. That's Aquaman. I was like, yeah, I know. Okay, I know.
Don't touch me, I know. But it was sick, like before they even showed, like, the clips of them, like, you saw their symbols.
Yeah.
It took me a second, I was like, those symbols look familiar. I saw the lightning bolt, I was like, oh crap, that's the Flash!
The only one I didn't recognize at first was actually Aquaman.
I didn't notice cyborgs.
I figured I saw the C, and I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
But the A didn't look like an A to me. It looked like a weird ass triangle.
Yeah,
thing.
that's kind of what it is, though.
I guess so.
His symbol.
Aquaman symbol.
Yeah.
I don't really care about Aquaman though. So. But he looks cool as shit. But normally I'm just kind of like, whatever, Aquaman. But, it's a very cliche thing to do, but it's kind of true. His storylines aren't that interesting, but Atlantis is interesting. But his storylines is kind of like whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, Atlantis, you're the king of the sea. All right,
yeah,
cool. Next part.
You have kind of nothing to do with us. But it was interesting, you know. I really like seeing Aquaman. I like seeing the Flash. But I think my favorite one was definitely Cyborg.
Cyborgs?
Yeah.
I liked Aquaman's, honestly. I like this. Cyborgs looked cool, like having everything like stick onto him, the metal and everything.
Yeah, was that so they went with that storyline, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand, the very original storyline was just that his father turned him into a cyborg.
Yeah.
But I think in the New 52, it's like an alien tech, right? It's like
yeah, like an alien tech like came onto him.
Darkseid's world, right? What's that called?
Apocalypse?
Yeah, is that the name of the world?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds something from X-Men.
I know that that's a character from X-Men.
Yeah.
But like I know there's like a world that Doomsday Darkseid rules, like a small world. I think it's called like Apocalypse or something like that.
I think so, maybe something like that.
And then from my understanding, there's tech that came from that.
Yeah, and then it sticks onto him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was badass. I love that. Cyborg is one of my favorite people just because of Teen Titans. Like I said, I watched all those animations.
Oh yeah.
So when I watched Teen Titans growing up, I was like huge.
I watched the shit out of Teen Titans.
Dude, Cyborg was awesome in that. So when I saw, and in the New 52, he's like part of the Justice League and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just a cool character. So I really like seeing his
origin kind of thing.
And just like, you don't need to have a whole movie based off it. I'm glad they're learning that. I'm glad they're learning you don't need to do a fucking trilogy to understand a person.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it. And they did. That's why I love so much about this movie. They just said, fuck it, we're doing it.
Yeah.
This is the comic books, we're doing it. And so seeing all of them just being there and being made, and just, it was beautiful.
See, the thing is, like, Cyborg's badass. Like, his dad was there. You see him, like, all the things come onto him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't show you what he's going to look like, though.
I think they did it on purpose because they're not even sure themselves, I feel like.
But they're making a movie about him, though.
I know, but they're doing the Justice movie right now.
Yeah, then they're gonna make Cyborg after that.
But he's gonna be in the Justice League movie, I'm guessing. But they don't. A lot of his body parts are gonna be CGI.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're just still trying to figure out
how to make him look.
Because they just started post production in January.
Yeah.
So they're just starting like the
design and all that
right now.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're still trying to figure it out. I think the same thing with the Flash probably.
Oh, I hated how the Flash looked. I think
the outfit on him is gonna be okay.
I hate his face.
Once the mask is on,
I hate his face.
His face sucks.
I literally hate his face. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like a cool guy, but his face.
I mean, comparing it to just the show.
It doesn't It doesn't say Barry Allen. It says something Wang.
I would actually accept him as like Wally West. You know that?
Oh, Wally West.
I would actually accept him as Wally West, but it is Barry Allen. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Wally West is supposed to be redhead, but then they made him black later and stuff, so it's kind of like Wally West is sort of whatever.
Yeah.
So I can totally see him being like Wally West.
Yeah, but see, he had like the ponytail. Yeah. He had the face. Like, facial hair still, I don't care about the facial hair, but then his eyes. He has like the Asian eyes.
Asian, yeah.
Barry Allen's white. I don't know. I can't. When I saw him in the Vision, like, he looked badass in the suit. He had like little facial hair going on. Like, he looked badass.
I think he did cut his hair too. So.
Yeah, he looked badass there, but when he was like on the camera during the scene, when they saw the characters,
I also don't like the effect because it was just like, you know what I mean? Like the camera couldn't pick it up, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see lightning. I wanted to see like some kind of like
TV show status kind
of stuff. Something.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, oh, we get it. He disappeared for a second. He's fast.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I saw a little more because that's why I like the Cyborg one so much because it showed the most. It showed like the fucking tech and the origin. And the Flash was kind of like camera couldn't pick him up. Aquaman was just like swimming. Hi.
That's why the most badass. It's like he went so slow you could like really like see everything how he's gonna look.
Be that slow though. I was saying like it's Aquaman. It just looks like a dude who kind of got mad and breathed in the water who stabbed you. Like, he's Aquaman. Make it fucking, like, whoosh, and just, you know what I mean? Like, that's why at the very end when he did, kind of like, I think I was him, like, flying away in the water or whatever.
It was like he shot whatever. I think it was a camera.
I was like, fine, okay, there. Now he's a meta-human.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like, he's just a weird dude in the water.
A weird dude with awesome hair.
And cool-looking tattoos and who was, like, a fan of Aquaman.
It was cool though.
It was cool. I really loved the scene and like all that. I liked how Wonder Woman didn't even know
Yeah.
And he sent it to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was like, "What the fuck?"
Like, oh crap, there's more of them.
And I love that. I really like that. And I thought it was a little weird that Batman just started questioning her right after though.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think Batman would do that. I don't think he'd just be like, "Who are you?"
I think it's more like more intimidating kind of thing. Like I think he knows who she is.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like testing her.
But that felt very like weak to me. Like that's something that felt very like a weakness, like him showing that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, don't ask. Like, what are you, a stalker or something? You are.
He is. He's a detective.
But don't ask. Like, that's so weird.
Detective's a fancy word for stalker.
Yeah. But I do like I like the chemistry a lot. I really like Diana. Is her name Diana in this? Are they just?
Yeah, I think it's Diana.
Are they gonna do that?
Just don't know that yet.
Origin?
And just haven't said it yet.
Yeah, I really like.
What's her real name though?
Isn't it Diana? Oh, like the Amazon name?
Yeah. No, the chick who,
the
chick who plays
Gal Gadot, something like that.
Gal Gadot.
G-A-L in space G-A-D-O-T. So Gal Gadot.
I don't know.
She was in Fast and the Furious.
No, she's fine. She's really fine.
Dude, I think she did great.
Oh yeah, she did badass.
I thought she was gonna do terrible because her backstory, IRL, is she's a fucking model. She's not an actor.
Yeah.
She's just a model, and then they saw her for Fast and Furious. She thought she'd do good. She did well. And then they chose her for Wonder Woman. I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
She's a model. And she didn't even talk in Fast and Furious, like, ever.
Yeah.
It was very weird to me, but I think she did fucking great. She was beautiful. She was smart. I like how they actually made her, like, really smart.
Yeah.
Because she should be. She's thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And then she's strong, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did really, really well with her. And I'm glad that she can't technically fly. I don't want her to fly.
She kind of, like, just, like, jumped really far.
I'm good with that. Because I don't like the Wonder Woman that's, like, can fly.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Because why can't all Amazons fly?
And maybe she did fly though. Like when they're fighting Doomsday, you kind of see her like going back and forth.
Really
was it?
Far, like really far. She was like.
I saw her kind of fighting. Like she was like flying around Doomsday. Maybe she was just jumping.
She was jumping a lot. She was a lot, kind of like a lot of Spider-Man jumping.
I had a lot of focus on Batman though at that time. So
I know. I was like waiting for him to kind of do something because it was a cool ass fight seeing Wonder Woman and Superman fighting him.
Yeah, that picture was like. Like a cartoon Batman, he was like Batman during the Doomsday fight. He's kind of him like in a corner, like thumbs up.
I was thinking that. Like, I was watching Wonder Woman and Superman kick ass, and I was kind of, what's Batman doing? But all of a sudden, it showed Batman just kind of like watching, and then it went back to them fighting.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck was that? He didn't do shit. He's just kind of like, fuck that shit. What the fuck? I'm out. He totally looked like that. He's totally just like watching.
I'm like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah, I gotta do shit here.
I kind of try to shoot the guy.
It's gonna kind of look cool for a while.
I look tough.
Yeah, and then he decided to shoot him like later. He's like, maybe I'm just gonna shoot him.
I should do something.
And then like when Doomsday finally focused on him, he's like, oh shit. Like jumping around, trying to dodge. That's all he was doing was dodging.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck this shit, dude. Superman, Clark! Sorry, I tried to kill you!
Come help me, I'm scared.
God, take this guy, do something!
And how'd that turn out for Superman?
Like the comics.
He got fucked up.
Yeah, it was a better death than the comics, I'd say. I don't know, it's kind of hard. Did you see the Death of Superman comic?
I haven't seen it.
The way they kill each other, they punch. It's a punch.
It's a punch.
Because they fight for a long... it's like a huge novel. They fight for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally they just like... Bah! They both hit each other and there's no energy left and then they die.
That's a pretty cheesy way though. Just like, punch. Oh, I'm dead.
But it's cool because it's an older comic.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a basic thing they do now, like an anime, Dragon Ball Z. It's like, oh, we punch each other, knock
Final
each other
punch.
out.
I know.
But like back then it was kind of cool because it was a bit of like early 90s comic.
Yeah.
And it was like Superman and Doomsday's huge ass fight.
Yeah.
And Doomsday killed a bunch of Justice League members. Like he fucking ripped off the face of Supergirl and killed her. It was awesome.
Really?
And Lex Luthor was like, ugh. Because it was his wife at the time, I think.
Yeah.
And then she was killed by Doomsday.
Damn.
And then Superman just like, it was really cool looking, but it would have been kind of stupid if that's the way they did it now, I guess. So it was sick when he got stabbed in the chest.
Stabbed with his like regenerating hand.
Yeah. I'm a little weirded out that they, I don't know. It's a hole in his chest, dude. How's he gonna come back from that? It's a fucking hole in his chest. Like the one with him getting punched, I get him coming back. He got punched.
Yeah.
He's in a fucking coma. His heart rate's super low. I get it.
Yeah.
He comes back. This is a goddamn hole through his chest.
See, and the thing about what I know about Doomsday is whatever kills him the first time, he comes back
stronger.
Yeah, and he can't die from that same thing.
Yeah.
So does that mean he's gonna come back immune to kryptonite?
No, I think this Doomsday has nothing to do with like that type of storyline. I think he's not gonna come back.
And things coming back? That's sad.
I know. I felt kind of bad about that, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad because that's a game breaker type of fucking deal. That's very comic booky.
It's like the one guy who could actually take on Superman.
Yeah.
Right. That sucks. That's sad.
I guess so.
I want him to come back.
I want to see some like more storylines of different characters too. Though, so I'm kind of like, I guess he's dead. But
it could have been a badass Superman movie, like another Man of Steel.
Hopefully, there's no more solo movies. I'm ready for like just
everyone else.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of. There's gonna be a Cyborg movie, like just Cyborg.
Yeah,
movie. It's kind of stupid. We already saw his origin.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, he doesn't have any. He's never solo. It's Cyborg.
Be Teen Titan
with the Teen Titans or with the fucking Justice League.
He's gonna be a Teen Titan.
He's not solo.
Oh, that'd be badass. Teen Titan movie.
That'd be cool if they just named it Cyborg and had a Teen Titans.
Had a Teen Titans. At least reference him. I have Nightwing in there.
Like, oh, he exists. We know Robins exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Because of the Jason Todd Robin. So we know that there's a Robin here somewhere.
Yeah.
That there's some.
Just who knows which one.
Yeah.
It's not Jason Todd.
It's gotta be Dick Grayson.
Clearly he's dead.
There's no way it's not Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson's in there.
It's gotta be him.
Yeah.
It's probably just him, I imagine.
I don't think Tim Drake's gonna be in it.
I don't think Tim Drake's in it either.
No.
Or Damian Wayne.
Because fuck Tim Drake.
Well, they might do Damian Wayne. That's what I'm saying. I'm underestimating these things because, like, when I would watch the movie, they did all types of shit I was not expecting them to do.
Yeah.
They just threw in all types of cool comic shit, like fucking time travel and killing people that aren't actually dead. Yeah. Very comic booky. I wouldn't expect that from a movie. So I'm saying this now, like, I wouldn't expect all this shit in this movies, but maybe they will do these crazy things.
Yeah.
Maybe fucking Damian Wayne will be a character. Maybe
I hate Damian Wayne.
I like him sort of.
He's a little.
He's an annoying character, but I like the fact that he's the son of Batman.
Yeah,
it's
cool. Could have made him cooler.
I mean, he dies, so what do you want?
Oh, thank you. Thank God he dies.
You don't know he dies.
Fuck him.
Yeah, his mother kills him.
He's a little shit.
Yeah, it's actually very sad. I like him because of his what's it called? Bromance with Dick Grayson.
His romance.
It doesn't really show that much in the cartoon movies, which the cartoon movies really display him as even more of a dick than the comics. But I really like his romance with Dick Grayson because after he becomes Batman, Dick Grayson, Damian wants to be his Robin. And then when Bruce Wayne comes back and becomes Batman again, he still follows Dick Grayson around and says, "You're my Batman. Like, you're always gonna be my Batman, not Bruce."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
like you're my brother."
Yeah, it didn't really feel that way. It really felt like they were like brothers, like the sons of the Dark Knight.
Wasn't there a time where like Ben was like, "You're not my son. Dick is like my only son."
Yeah, shit like that.
Sad.
There's a lot of shit going on, weird drama between Dick, Damian, and Batman.
Yeah.
But that's why it was cool when they kind of had that bromance finally, and Dick just kind of became like almost like not really idolized, but really cared for Damian. I meant to say the other way around, by the way. Damian really started to care for Dick Grayson, you know? And it was really interesting seeing that, how he kind of more accepted him as his Batman more than Bruce. Yeah. Which is really cool. And I really, really like that. Different. And he finally became a Titan, and he didn't really like being with the Titans, though. He just like being...
animated movie's coming out next month.
That's good.
Teen Titans versus Justice League.
We'll talk about that in a second. And then it was really... But then, like, so when Dick failed to save Damian, because that's what happened. Yeah. They were fighting this... very comic booky logic, a future version of Damian, and he was like a bad guy.
I remember that.
And then he killed this young Damian.
Oh, that's awesome.
But like Dick was trying to like save him and he couldn't.
Yeah.
So it was his failure, and it felt very cool. Like that was very interesting. That was like because it's always Batman's failure. It's always like Batman failed to save Robin. Batman failed to stop Joker from shooting Batgirl. Batman failed everything. Yeah. But this one was cool seeing Dick really feel that failure of failing to save Damian. Like, that was very cool to me. And then after that, some more shit happened. And they thought Dick Grayson was dead, but he wasn't. And then Batman said, "You need to stay dead because of whatever reason, some shit going on." And Dick was like, "Why are you asking this of me? That's such a fucked up thing." And then they fought each other, and then Dick gave in and stayed dead. And it was really weird. Oh, and then
Grayson.
Yeah.
Fuck the Grayson comics. They're cool, but...
They're cool. I like them.
I fuck them.
Why?
I like Nightwing.
They were cool because that's when he had to stay dead because he started working for the government and shit like that. And
fuck Grayson.
That's interesting.
I like Nightwing. I don't like Grayson.
Well, that's why anyway, I went off tangent just because I like the Damian Wayne comics.
Yeah.
They're really cool. He's kind of stupid in the movie. That's what I'm saying with the Teen Titan movie. It's Damian Wayne. It's just Damian Wayne being Damian Wayne.
It's like, "Oh, you know how to beat Superman?" He looks over with a smirk. Yeah. Fuck him.
Stupid.
Fuck him.
I'm not super excited about that.
I wish he dies.
I like those movies just because of the sad characters more than anything. Like, I like seeing Dick Grayson. And I'm gonna like seeing Raven. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome seeing them again.
Yeah.
Raven, Beast Boy together.
Cyborg. Even though he's not even a Teen Titan, it's just they threw him in there because they knew we wanted to see him there.
Is Starfire in it? I don't think she's in it, huh?
Yeah, she's in it.
She's in it.
She looks different. A lot of them look different.
I don't like how they make Beast Boy. He looks actually looks like from Young Justice.
Yeah, but they based both of those off the New 52, right? Isn't that how he looks in the comic?
I have no idea.
He looks very monkey-ish.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I
don't like it.
I miss Teen Titans.
I didn't like it in Young Justice. I didn't like it in this.
It was weird, but I got used to it from Young Justice. I'm just so used to Teen Titans.
Even the Teen Titans look, I don't like that much. I like the comic. He looks better. He's more muscular. Looks pretty normal, just like pointy ears and green. Yeah. I was thinking about the Teen Titans look very scrawny, like the tooth.
Little tooth popping out.
Yeah, it was weird. And then like now he's a monkey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the actual older comic.
I don't like the monkey. The monkey version.
Stupid.
It's stupid. Yeah. Fuck that.
We really divulged again. This is just what happens.
We're getting closer to the end of the movie, though.
True. We're almost there. And we're an hour in, so actually, we're getting pretty close to ending, too. So, you know what? We stayed on track pretty good then. You know that? From, like, my last podcast of going to, like, fucking Flashpoint to Back to the Future to Zuko to Peter Pan. At least this one we stayed within the Batman DC sort of.
Went everywhere.
Thank God. I think that's mainly because of you. Because I'm the one who kept being like, oh, but I like this thing. So,
I think that was more me. I kind of like, oh, but what about Marvel with this? And they were like, you went off on that.
Fuck it. This podcast is so unprofessional.
Just stay tuned and we'll...
Yeah, we're almost there.
We'll stay with it.
Yeah. So I want to just cover some of the acting real quick on the movie. I liked pretty much everyone. There was like anybody. Is anybody you really just actually didn't like?
Lex Luthor.
You really did like Lex Luthor?
I did not like Lex Luthor.
You really didn't like him? He wasn't enjoyable in any way?
Like, maybe if he wasn't Lex Luthor, I could see him as a Riddler. I could see him as someone that's not serious.
Well, I guess the way they explained it, he's Lex Luthor's son.
That's stupid.
So, I know. But I enjoyed him as a villain just because I unfortunately...
He'd be a good villain, just not a good Lex Luthor.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, he doesn't give up the Lex Luthor vibe, so yeah.
He's like, oh my goodness, Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne. I love it. What the hell is that?
That was cool, man. I like that. That's the thing. Like, yeah, he's not a Lex Luthor. He isn't. But I love him as a villain. I just think as a villain,
he'd be a good villain, just not Lex Luthor.
Yeah, you're right. But then again, I don't really like Lex Luthor that much to begin with. I think that's why I kind of like him.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor's kind of a...
But he looked badass when he shaved his head at the end.
Stupid,
he looked badass. I could see him as Lex Luthor when he shaved his head.
Really?
Still can't see the voice, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't match the whole rest of the villain.
Yeah.
Might as well stick with whatever character you're doing.
Honestly, I wanted the guy from Breaking Bad to be Lex Luthor.
He would have been good, like an actual Lex Luthor.
Yeah. He has, like, the old look. He already looks good shaved. He looks evil.
I said this isn't Lex Luthor. Yeah. He's just an interesting villain. Yeah. He's not Lex Luthor.
It's Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
He actually might have been okay. Is that... No, he's too scrawny.
Nah. Hell no.
I don't know.
Hell no. I don't want to see him.
Well, here's the thing with me and Jason Todd. I don't really like him that much.
You like Jason Todd?
The Red Hood, I don't like.
What?
I think it's a cool story, but then him as a character is really confusing and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, you don't like him as Red Hood or like him as Jason Todd?
Both, I guess. As Jason Todd, he's just like Damian Wayne, annoying and cocky, and then he gets himself killed. And that storyline was cool. Him getting himself killed was cool, and even him coming back as Red Hood was cool.
Yeah.
But then after that, the afterness of it, just him being Red Hood, it's kind of stupid. His personality changes like from comic to comic. Sometimes he's cocky.
Like one day he hates Batman, one day he's working with Batman.
Yeah, sometimes he's cocky.
That's because he forgave him. He forgave him.
But then sometimes he doesn't forgive him. Sometimes he's like, I still hate you, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know, his character's just kind of all over the place.
It's like in the new comics with it's Red Hood and Arsenal.
Oh god, dude.
That's actually pretty funny. I saw a video about it.
It's like now, but then now he's funny. Now it's comedic. What the fuck are you? What are you?
They don't know what to do with them.
As I was saying, like, they don't really know what to do with them. They just don't want to kill him off because people like him so much.
Yeah.
That's the way it feels to me.
Like him from the Arkham games, that's why.
I don't know. That to me is just like, I don't really like him as a character that much.
I don't know.
But I like his story. I think the story is very cool.
You're thinking a badass comic when he fights Deathstroke. I'm actually excited to I'll actually read that. Deathstroke and Red Hood fight.
I would read that, I guess. I don't really like Deathstroke that much either, though. He's a little overrated, don't you think?
Deadpool's overrated.
I guess.
Fuck Deadpool.
I mean, I guess he's overrated in the sense that mainstream media likes him. But I mean, just like on a comic fan basis, Deathstroke isn't really that great.
Like interesting?
Yeah, or interesting, or even really good.
I could give you that, yeah.
If anything, I think Deadshot is more interesting with his daughter. And
I guess she has a story knowledge like, I'm a badass mercenary.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Deathstroke. There's not much to him.
He got his ass kicked by Robin.
Yeah.
Like, he lost so much credibility after that.
I think he's cool as Slade. He's cool as, like, the Teen Titans villain. Yeah. That version of him was really cool.
Yeah.
I think him being sort of mysterious.
I honestly didn't even know that was Deathstroke at first when I first saw the movie.
I know.
Or the show.
Right? I was saying, like, he's such a more mysterious and interesting villain for the Titans.
Yeah.
That I don't like him as, like, just an overall mercenary, sort of, like, not much backstory, kind of I get it. He's like the best of the best aside from Batman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not much to him. Where like something like Deadshot, he has a daughter. He's the best shot. He's not really the best overall fighter, but he's the best shot. You know, it's interesting. And what's that weird gun thing he has in his arm?
It's a wrist gun.
That's cool as shit.
It's a wrist gun.
I was saying, it's just interesting ass character. Whereas Deathstroke's kind of like,
I have big ass guns and I'm good with the sword.
Yeah, you get it. You're a mercenary. You know, like where it was more interesting when you never really saw his face with like the Teen Titans and like just these different shit.
Yeah, I think they need to reboot Slade.
Creepy.
Or Deathstroke, whatever you want to call
it.
it.
I know, right?
They need to reboot
plus, the name Slade is way cooler.
Slade. Deathstroke. I don't know. I think I like Deathstroke.
Deathstroke's too long.
Like, what's your name? My name's Slade.
That's so fucking cool.
Like, what's your name? Deathstroke. Like, I'd be more scared of a Deathstroke than a Slade.
Deathstroke just sounds so generic. Deathstroke. It's like, yeah, you're a comic character. We get it. But Slade's like, ooh, Slade. Who's this guy?
It's Wade. Slade and Wade.
Is his name Wade Wilson?
Wade Wilson. Who's? Deathstroke?
Yeah, it's Slade Wilson.
It's Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool is Wade Wilson.
Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny.
It's kind of like a big middle finger to DC.
Deadpool's super interesting. I think he's a little overrated, but at least
he's overrated as fuck now.
At least he's really interesting, though. Like a lot of his comics are really interesting.
They're really funny.
Like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Just what the fuck? It's so weird.
It got so stupid after that, though.
It did, yeah.
Like he fights the writers of the comic. He goes into Moby Dick.
It was so funny, though.
It's stupid.
He is stupid. That's what's so interesting about him. But he is a bit overrated.
See, but the thing is, like, they want to make him so funny, like this funny character, that they forget like he's a badass mercenary that kills people. Like every other page is gonna be a joke in his comics. Joke is
like it's almost like he's actually not even that good though too.
Like they're like
almost part of the joke.
It's like, oh, he decapitates someone. Like, oh, chimichangas, kill someone else, tacos. Like, well, I don't know. I don't like that. I like Deadpool. I like Deadpool as a character. Like he's badass. Like it's funny how like he makes jokes.
Yeah.
But
you should actually try reading some. Have you read too many of his comics? Because a lot of his comics are actually pretty interesting. Because he's not always like that. He's actually he's very depressed and down on himself. Yeah. Because he knows he's all fucked up. He knows he's crazy.
The last one I read was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
That one was weird as shit.
I liked it.
That was one of the weirdest ones.
It was cool.
I liked it. It was definitely one of the weirdest ones though. And I remember reading it, and I got to a point of reading it where I was like, this is really, really hard to read sometimes. Like, it's really fucked up and crazy and really meta. Yeah. That's like super meta. Yeah. Which was cool. It was like, that was the most, like, if you want to know what Deadpool is, read that, I would say. But, like, a lot of his solo and, like, him being involved with people is more interesting to me, actually. I like it better when he's involved with other people, like the X-Men or Avengers. That's a bit more interesting to me. Because everyone's been kind of serious, and he just pops up like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's just so, like, it's more interesting that way. His solo books are kind of whatever. The only one I really liked of him being in the solo book is one where he has to impress Lady Death. I love those ones so much.
I haven't seen that
because like Thanos wants the same thing, right? Yeah. So him and Deadpool kind of have like a little
they
rivalry.
Fight.
But the thing is, Thanos is kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Because he's Thanos. Yeah. But it's just funny that that Thanos is so pissed off at him because Lady Death kind of likes Deadpool more. Yeah. So Thanos is like, what the fuck, man? You're up with my girl? All right, let's go. It's just interesting, you know. I don't know, but he definitely overrated now with like the mainstream media.
Yeah, especially with the movie.
Yeah, I love the movie though.
The movie was badass. It was hella funny.
I loved the movie. I just think part of the mainstream media fans are kind of annoying, if anything. But I think his comics are super interesting, and he's definitely a character to get into. But he's not the best. No, not even close. He's a lot better characters.
He's more of a comedy character now.
Yeah, he's more like if you want something to laugh at or be kind of like interested in, or just something that isn't really.
It's a good story with some comedy thrown in.
Pretty much, you're never going to be really bored with a Deadpool story.
Yeah.
So if you're looking into Marvel stuff, you're not really sure what to look into. Try a Deadpool comic.
Yeah.
They're not going to bore you. Yeah. You might not necessarily like it, but they're not going to bore you.
Yeah, they'll keep you on your toes.
They'll leave
you like, what the fuck did I just read?
Yeah, it'll keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
So I definitely like him. I can appreciate him for that. But I'm not actually that big of a Deadpool fan.
I want to be, but just because he's so mainstream now.
He's very mainstream.
I don't want to be hipster about it, but...
I know, it's funny because I try not to do that. I almost make a point to try not to be biased by other people's opinions. Yeah. But sometimes you just can't help it. Yeah. Sometimes there's just too much focus on something.
Everyone loves Deadpool now. He's like turning into the new Batman.
Yeah.
You're going to see those girls
running. That's going to fade. Because a lot of Marvel characters are like, oh, Spider-Man, he was huge for a long time. He's kind of fading. It's in Wolverine, kind of fading, you know. Iron Man is just the way.
I feel like he's forever gonna be like a Batman. Like instead of wearing the Batman clothes, you see the girl with Batman. That's gonna be Deadpool. I see a lot of chicks with Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
And I hate you all too.
Thanks for the extra dislikes. We're coming up on an hour and 15 here, so let's wrap this up. It's fun though, huh? We just talked for a while. Huh?
You got it.
Yeah. So to wrap up going back to the movie. To wrap it up, my overall opinions, I liked pretty much all the acting. I liked the basic storyline premise. And I like the fact that they just said fuck it and went with all the comics. So I have almost nothing negative to say other than if you're just a moviegoer, like you love these DC and Marvel movies and you don't really know that much about the comics, but you know a little bit, you're probably not going to like this movie, actually. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be a little too weird for you, a little too comic booky, a little convoluted, which a lot of comic books are.
Yeah.
But if you are like a die-hard comic book fan and you really do like the comics, you like the comics that these are based off of, you're going to like this movie. I think you're going to love this movie, actually. Mm-hmm. I think this movie is really for you.
So what would you say? Would you rate the movie?
Oh, what would I actually rate it? Mm-hmm. Actually, as a movie, probably like 7.5 out of 10. As a comic fan, though, like fucking 9.5.
9.5?
Like, because it's the most comic-y comic book you can get.
Yeah. So,
but I can see how the movie's very convoluted and stuff, so I was like 7.5, close to 8.
7.5?
Because I gave Deadpool an 8, and that's a really good movie. So I was like, 7 probably.
Yeah.
But like, as a comic fan, dude, like 9. That was 9.5. Really what was you? So what were you thinking? Overall acting, story premise, comic. What were you?
For acting, I say Ben Affleck should definitely stay as Batman.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill as Superman.
He needs a little work, I'd say.
He can use some work.
Yeah.
They made him really emotionless in the movie. Like, he had no emotion.
I guess because that's people are complaining about Man of Steel when he had too much emotion.
Maybe. I don't know.
I liked Man of Steel. I liked his emotion.
I haven't seen Man of Steel yet.
What the hell, dude? This movie's bait. How the fuck did you even understand what was happening?
Because I know what's going on. But I just never read it.
I love it. We should watch Man of Steel together.
I don't watch Man of Steel.
I really like Man of Steel. Yeah. It's just people don't like it because Superman's too emotional. He's crying all the time. And now in this movie, he doesn't show.
He has no emotion. Like, they could just give him more emotion in Justice League. The chick as Wonder Woman, I liked her. I loved her.
Yeah.
She was
I'm very surprised.
Sexy and strong.
Smart, beautiful, strong. I was very surprised.
Lex Luthor, everyone knows how I feel about him. And, yeah. Alfred, I want to see how he is.
I know. Alfred, I was sort of like he was. I like the other Alfred better.
I did too. He's
Master Wayne.
Master Wayne.
We're the Batman. Go to the Bat
Master Wayne.
Come back. I'm not the family of the Wayne family.
I don't know who you're trying to go for there.
That's his accent, isn't it? Like,
Master Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Isn't it like very
Master Wayne?
It's like very like British. But he really has that butt sound, like the Bat Cave.
The Bat Cave. Come to the Bat Cave. Master Dick's here.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that! I can't wait to hear that, dude. Sir, Master Dick's at the door. Like, oh, yeah! That's gonna be so great. Barbara's here. Oh man, shit, man, I'm being so excited. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, but all in all, I would rate as a movie wise. Yeah, you're right. Probably like a 7, just because it was a slow thing.
Yeah.
But as comic book thing, I loved it. I loved the action, everything. I give that a 9. You're right.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I think they did really well for comic movie.
Yeah.
It's a little convoluted, so going into it, guys, just
give it 9 out of 10 bangs. You gotta put that on your thing.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I was looking at you too. Like, did you really just fucking say that? Because now I have to do that.
Be like
I'd like put like a little sound effect too, where it goes like ching 9 out of ching 10.
It's a little extra work for you.
I know. I'm gonna say something too. Like, I give it 9 out of 10. I'm not gonna do it.
9 out of 10.
Fuck it. Bad rates. We'll stay with there. Really great. Yeah. All right, man. So I guess that was fun, man. I'm so glad you fucking came to do this.
Finally made a podcast.
About time, dude. It went by really quick to me.
It did.
It went by really quick.
It did.
I could probably talk for another hour. But
we're down for the 20 mark.
I know. It's the exact same thing as the other one. Like, God, why does that keep happening? But all right, everybody. I'm glad that you enjoyed. I hope everybody listened to the end. If you did, thank you so much. This was another NerdnCulture podcast. I am your classic nerd, Mark. And here we had...
the sexy, sexy beast, Adolfo.
Oh my God. And we hope you enjoyed. That's it. Signing off.
Peace. Is this one right?
Yeah. What if you just fucking deleted the whole thing? Press stop. Yeah, stop.